An Al Jazeera investigation has revealed new evidence of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt and Bahrain's attempt to overthrow the Qatari government in 1996. Now, it includes interviews with coup leaders who conspired to remove Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa al-Thani, the father of the current Emir of Qatar, who was then the country's leader. The investigation comes 8 months into a blockade against Qatar by Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain and Egypt. The countries have accused Doha of supporting terrorism, a claim that Qatar denies. Well, we're joined now by Andreas Krieg, who's an assistant professor in defence studies at King's College London. Thank you for being with us. So in what way did these countries try to overthrow the Qatari government back in the 90s?
So what they did is, that was 1 year after the father Emir actually came to power in 1995. There was still a lot of turbulence internally within Qatar. He hasn't really consolidated his power yet. And what happened is that you had a conspiracy of Bahrain, the UAE and Saudi Arabia, who were bringing weapons, and basically also money to certain people within the intelligence community, within the military, who were the plan was to actually infiltrate the palace, take this young Emir hostage, and then basically stage a coup d'etat and overthrow it.
And what would the reasons be?
Multiple reasons. I think that you have to understand this within the context of the early 1990s. So, first of all, Hamad bin Khalifa just had come to power in 1995 within a bloodless coup within the palace against his father. His father has been, although having also similar difficulties with Saudi Arabia, he'd generally been someone who was leaning towards Saudi Arabia. He wasn't trying to alter the internal affairs and policies of Qatar in the same way that his son, Hamad bin Khalifa, the father Emir, was going to do. So now you had this new Emir coming in with new ideas, new policies, new visions also for the country, which were very much opposed to the absolutely conservative visions that Saudi Arabia had. So he came in, they wanted to take him out, and at the same time it was a great way of kind of splitting up the pie, if you will. So here's a young country that was aspiring through natural gas, that was rich, that had significantly growing influence as well in the region, and it was a way for Saudi Arabia, for the Bahrainis and the Emiratis to get rid of someone that they considered to be problematic, the father Emir, and splitting up a potentially very wealthy country and taking the spoils.
It does suggest that the relationship between those countries and Qatar has always been complex. How do you think that these revelations impact the situation we have right now with, of course, an ongoing blockade against Qatar by these countries?
Well, we have to see this again this has been a complex relationship. Qatar has always been somewhat the outsider within vis-a-vis the UAE and vis-a-vis Saudi Arabia, mostly for the reason that Qatar had a different vision. They wanted to do something different from the big brother, and particularly in the 1990s, they were trying to get out of the umbrella of Saudi influence and somewhat Saudi bullying. And what we see today in 2017 is a continuation of a very long history of Saudi intervention in Qatari affairs, a way of Saudi trying to bully Qatar into submission, and Qatar is now standing up to it and says today, in 2017 or 2018, we are more powerful than we were in the 1990s. We're more able to also use our soft power that we weren't able to use in the 1990s and the 2000s. So it kind of is a continuation of an ongoing policy that has happened for many, many years. And the thing is, the same people who are involved in the 2017 crisis, particularly Mohammed bin Zayed, I would say somewhat the mastermind of the 2017 crisis, was already involved in the early 1990s, in 1996, in the coup attempt in Qatar. So for many ways, it's a continuation of an ongoing attempt trying to bully Qatar into submission and make it conform, or even controlling it and instigating a regime change.
Andreas Krieg from King's College London, thank you.